Unless you're already retired, you must face the potential possibilities of reduced earnings. As a result, your ability to work in your family-raising career-building years typically diminishes. As the years of retirement approach, it's important to reevaluate your financial plans to ensure they are in line with your future needs. In your younger years, evaluating retirement investments and plans isn't a priority for most, but it should be. A little effort put towards retirement planning early in life goes a long way, but most people are busy working full-time, raising children, personal life, and so on. When the kids are in college and retirement years are fast approaching, it's a good time to take a look into what your financial future holds. Will there be enough money to fund your retirement, or will working for longer be necessary? What about the allocation of your portfolio? Don't forget the increase in healthcare costs that most people experience. Retirement is never as far off as many of us believe, so it's time to get serious about the future if you're not. Managing investments is a long-term game, and something that needs to be continually done to keep your portfolio in check. Many people fail to realize that by not working, we are actually spending more just by increasing leisure time rather than working. While calculating your needs sounds like a basic step, it's best to get specific and do some careful analysis. It often surprises people to learn exactly what they spend on a monthly basis when factoring in where all the money actually goes. It's important to include all categories of spending to determine a comfortable budget for the non-working years. Travel, visiting family, hobbies, and any non-income producing activities all cost some money. Income needed during retirement often decreases due to the fact that many people have their residence paid off and have fewer obligations for their kids. But healthcare costs, travel, and entertainment expenses will probably be higher, as those hours previously spent working and commuting are now non-income producing. Food, including the cost of dining out, need to be factored in. During working years, it can be argued that many people eat at home more frequently than when retired. Dining out is more expensive, and consequently, the cost of eating rises. And don't overlook the cost of housing entirely. Even when there is no mortgage obligation, housing still involves the cost of taxes, utilities, maintenance, HOAs, insurance, and other incidentals that can't be overlooked. Healthcare, even when you're in good health, still involves higher premiums during the later years of life. Life insurance is more expensive, and auto insurance rates tend to rise during retirement years as well. Older people are statistically more of a risk for automobile accidents, at least to insurers, even if someone has a clean driving record. Overlooking these subtle increases can lead to unfortunate miscalculations. Be sure to adjust these expenses when determining your financial needs in preparation for your non-income producing years. Calculating the income needed during your retirement years will allow you to make adjustments to your investments. If the income needed is low, you may not need to contribute any more to investments, instead using that money that would have gone into retirement savings for a new car, more travel, or shopping. If your investments aren't large enough to provide the income that you'll require, it's time to add more money or create more income streams. A 4% withdrawal rate is what is considered to be sustainable, but factoring in the age you plan on retiring will help you decide whether that's too low. Multiplying your annual expenses by 25 will give you the number needed based on withdrawing 4%. For instance, if you have a budget of $2,000 per week, plan on accumulating $2.6 million to fund your lifestyle. If you plan on working until age 70, it might be reasonable to withdraw 10%, but that brings up the question of how long you're going to live. Does your family have a history of great health and longevity? Making it likely they're going to last well into your 90s. If so, sticking to a lower withdrawal rate is a smart idea. Upon retiring, the amount of money that was being directed to retirement investing will be removed from your budget. If 20% of your income was being contributed to your 401k or IRA, that entire expense will be gone. Take note of your future Social Security income. Finding this number can be done online, and you'll get an idea of how much you can expect to receive from the government. Although it might seem like a paltry sum to some people, many individuals rely entirely on Social Security income. Don't forget to consider your tax liability. If your entire nest egg is set aside in a 401k or traditional IRA, income will be taxed at ordinary income rates, which will take a large chunk out of your income. If all your money is in a Roth IRA and the taxes have already been paid, your overall tax liability might even decrease. If you haven't recently evaluated how your retirement savings is shared up among different investments, now is a good time to revisit how your investments are allocated. As you near retirement, two elements become more important. Evaluating your risk tolerance, or how well you stomach the value of your investments going up and down, and when you anticipate taking distributions from your savings. Having anxiety attacks when the market dips can indicate that you're invested too aggressively, and it may be time to reevaluate your risk tolerance. Perhaps investing in bonds instead of IPOs is more your style. You can take small steps today to move some assets from riskier investments to more conservative ones, looking for days when the market is going higher to sell at a higher price. It can make sense to have higher cash balances in times of uncertainty, even though inflation can nibble away at it. Keeping track of your allocations will make it easy to assess whether or not your investment portfolio will align with your goals. Various research indicates many people are ill-prepared for their golden years, so it's important to increase your savings if possible and deemed necessary. Most people aren't able to handle an emergency situation requiring $400. This is a sad state of affairs, but symptomatic of our society of consumption and waste. Among 401k accounts at Vanguard, the median retirement account balance for people ages 55 to 64 stood at $61,739 in 2018. For ages 45 to 54, the median was $40,243. These figures are too low to sustain a healthy retirement income. Further funding these accounts as early and often as possible will allow retirement planners to take advantage of compound interest. For people who begin investing early on, most of their portfolio consists of the interest that was earned, instead of money that was deposited into an account. For older investors, it's increasingly difficult to prepare for retirement, due to the lack of time and therefore the ability to receive compounding interest. Everyone knows that healthcare costs rise as people age, so making use of an HSA can be beneficial. Medical expenses take a significant portion of one's budget, especially in unfortunate situations where health issues arise. An HSA, your health savings account, is a tax-exempt account you can use to save specifically for medical-related costs. Contributions are tax-deductible, and withdrawals are also tax-free, as long as you're using the money for qualified medical expenses. The investment gains are also tax-free and the funds can be invested in low-cost index funds, so there's no need to worry about losing out on potential investment gains or compound interest, especially if you're lucky and the money goes unused for a long period of time. Using a tax-efficient savings account will help you prepare for future medical expenses and cut down on your tax liability. It might also be worthwhile to invest in long-term care insurance if your income is too high to qualify for Medicare.